Hey everyone, today I am in Nagoya. We're at the Toyota Technology Museum. There's so many cool things here to see, including the history of Toyota's vehicles, but also a lot of machinery, textiles. It's just more about technology. But of course, we're here for the cars. We're gonna check out the cars, and we're gonna just show you guys a little bit of what it's about to be here. This is pretty close to the center of Nagoya, so if you're ever in the area, it's definitely worth checking out this, as well as the Automotive Museum, which they have so many other manufacturers other than just Toyota. They have a lot of nice Toyota vehicles, but they have a little bit of everything. We're gonna check this out, and we'll give you guys a little tour. Come along with us. This Toyota ESV is honestly one of the weirdest looking vehicles I've ever seen, but this was, I guess, developed to test safety standards, and this was one of the first vehicles to have like an actual crumple zone that was built into the chassis, and then on top of that, everything on the inside is like really soft, so then it saves the occupants from crash. But it had like really early ABS, it had like automatic lights, it had a bunch of other little things that were very ahead of its time. It was actually delivered in 1974, which is crazy, but here's some pictures of it getting crash tested. But I guess only 10 were made. What a weird looking car, huh? Look at that bumper. For absorbing the crash impact, it's like completely separate from the entire vehicle. In fact, there's a split in the grille where it's like not attached at all, so that's kind of like a shock. Very interesting. This is a really cool little display of the 1UZ FE, which is the motor from the LS400, but it's just cool to see it in a museum. And I guess this is kind of like the driveline setup for that vehicle. It's just very interesting that they put this in the museum. But I guess this is such a historic motor for Toyota, especially because this is like the million-mile motor. You know, this is the one, as Matt Farah knows, he took that LS400 and had him and a bunch of his friends drive it until it hit 1,000,000 miles. Oh, this is so neat. What a really cool display. So they actually used actual brochures from way back when to put this collage together, but you could see a lot of it is faded, a lot of it is sun faded, but I've just never seen any of these things, you know, like you got the Soarer, you got all these different types of Corollas. Of course, the A86. So many different kind of interesting vehicles, all the way up to the Celsior or LS400. How cool is that? Celica convertible, Hilux Surf, or we call it the 4Runner. Amazing. Look at these advertisements. How cool is this? 3T GTEU. Amazing. It just looks so different. It looks so different than advertisements today. Oh, that MR2 one is so cool. See, I couldn't imagine working for Toyota in the mid-80s, early 80s, making these sort of advertisements. There's a couple other ones here. Toyota Blizzard. Got a minivan one. I feel like I can guess where some of these were shot. That Celica advertisement. It really is amazing what they were able to do back then without Photoshop and just shooting all this stuff on film. It just looks so good. This is pretty cool. 1981. This is off of the Toyota Soarer. Dual overhead cam 5MGEU. Never heard of that engine. But this looks like it's just all the driveline from it. Super cool setup. So tempted just to shift through the gears right now. .65 horsepower, 1936 Toyota model AA. This is the first Toyota vehicle. It definitely it kind of looks like an American car. It's pretty interesting. What's cool to me is that the horn is just like this ball of rubber, I'm guessing. And you just squeeze it, and that's how you activate the horn. Actually has quite a bit of room back there, and I'm assuming part of it is because this is mostly like a chauffeur car. Back then, if you had the money to drive around this in Japan, you know, you would just get chauffeured around. Oh, she's gonna honk the horn.
So this is Toyota's first passenger car. So I will sound the horn.
That is so cool.
So the driver squeezes the horn between their knees, like this. So thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright, so I was totally wrong. You do squeeze it, but it's funny, she says that you squeeze it between your knees. So, I mean, if you get aggro, you're just like banging your knees together. I'm just honking at everybody. I think that's pretty cool.
I think it's EV.
What's EV? The 2000 GT?
Toyota 2000 GT EV.
Oh.
And it says on the seat too.
This is cool though. 1966 Toyota Corolla. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this.
Yeah, this is what Good Mike is.
What's your favorite car here? Yeah, LFA.
LFA.
LFA. I kind of like this. I think.
Tell me you're gonna take a selfie of it.
No, let's be realistic. All right, let's be realistic.
Money no object.
Money no object, of course, the LFA or the 2000 GT. But if it was something if it was something that I would actually buy myself, I would buy this.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Like, look at this thing. This is so cool. 1970. 115 PS. This is in really good condition. I'm assuming that it just got restored for this place. Look at that.
I looked it up really quick. It's all in Japanese, so I couldn't really tell. But it has EV seats. It says EV on it.
It says 2000 GT EV. I'm assuming that this is converted to EV. It looks like the rear glass is damaged too. Not really sure what the story is behind this thing. It definitely looks like it needs a restoration. A lot of the metal is pitted. This is an old car after all. Yeah, it is a 67. I always like those wheels though. It's pretty cool. My favorite part about this car has always just been the front end. Those fog lights are just so neat looking. This makes me wonder if Toyota has a collection kind of like Zama hidden away. I don't know of any, but as you guys know, we've covered it quite a few times. Nissan just has that collection of whatever, 300 cars just sitting in a warehouse. And it's a collection of their race cars and of course their production cars. Makes me wonder if Toyota has something like hidden away. Maybe that's something that I'll look into. I love these survivor vehicles. A good example is, like the Sprinter here, and then of course this is Tercel, and they don't make the Tercel anymore in the US. It's been out of production for many years, but this is like a first car for somebody, this is like an economy car, with steelies and no frills, very basic. Probably didn't have anything fancy inside at all. But the point is, I love that it survived this long. I think it's so cool to be able to just show what these cars were like as a brand new car, because I never had a chance to see this in the showroom floor as a new car. That's for darn sure. The rear of this is so ugly. I don't remember ever seeing one of these on the street. Would you drive that?
Honestly, if I could slam it to the ground, I would love to drive it. Look how, see, think about it.
Yeah, yeah.
If this was dropped like 10 feet, so the body was scraping the floor.
This is like that meme.
This hatch would look amazing.
This is like the Geobaz. Is it Geobaz?
Yeah.
Geobaz meme. It's like, you know, I've taken care of this car since brand new.
Well, like the first
you can
owner.
have it. You can have it, Timmy.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
like, boom.
it gets to Lewis, and then it's like chopped in half.
This. I
It's
would.
pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
1982 Toyota Camry. Just look how boxy this thing is. It looks so interesting. Oh, this one's manual. Heck, I would drive this today. Pretty cool looking, honestly. Very, very boxy. The design is literally just a square. ZX. So this is right-hand drive, so this is a Japanese model. My second favorite car here is without a doubt the Soarer. This one's a 5M GEU, 170 horsepower, 1981. What a cool looking car, honestly. The seats look super comfortable, like a couch, the back too. Amazing. It probably just smells like the 80s. What a cool car. 2.8 liter GT, 6-cylinder. Toyota Soarer. I really do have to say, these are in such good condition. I'm kind of bummed that there's no Super here though. They do have this, which is the Celsior. In Japan, they didn't have Lexus yet until the mid-2000s. So it was LS400 Lexus in the US since 1989. But this is an 89 Toyota version, which is the Celsior. And this thing is just a tank. I love these. Wow, this one is in perfect condition. So clean. What a time capsule. I love how the LFA is just kind of tucked into the corner. This is probably one of the coolest cars I've ever been able to drive in my life. Luckily, our friend Nian has a white one in Singapore, and he actually let me drive it. But I've always loved the way these things look. It's just too bad they made so few of them, and they spent so much money to develop them. It's just such a beautiful vehicle. Whoa. That is so cool. We actually went to the Tahara plant yesterday outside of Nagoya, and we actually had a chance to see the assembly line for the first time. The Tahara plant makes a lot of the body-on-frame vehicles. They make the 4Runner, they make the GX460, and now they're starting to make the new Land Cruiser LC250 as well as the GX 550. But they also make like the variants of them, like the Prado, the Land Cruiser Prado, 4-door and 2-door. But something I learned yesterday was they actually make the Toyota Century there too, which is so cool. So they actually make the frames on site and they get welded there. It's a sight to see. It's kind of unbelievable. It's pretty crazy that after all these years, it was the first time I was able to see a production line and actually see where the vehicles are being assembled. But this is pretty much just like what we saw yesterday. It totally reminds me of it. But of course, it wasn't JZX90 Chaser on there. But you can actually see in a moment, they're gonna lower down the engine and suspension, and that's actually a 1J turbo setup there as the driveline. What a cool display. So this one is automatic. That would make such a cool drift car. It's pretty cool because you don't actually have to go to the factory to see all the machines and like the process that they go through to make these vehicles. You just need to come here because this is exactly what we saw when we were at the factory. Instantly recognizable Toyota Celica bumper. What dash is this though? I don't know. And I don't know what that door is from. But that's unmistakable. That's Toyota Celica. Alright, so this honestly might be the coolest machine here. So this is like the body assembly area where they do the tack welding on the body. So it's kind of like a cool little orchestra that happens when you push this button down here. How cool is that? Amazing. I can't believe they just have these machines for this. I mean, maybe I'm assuming that they're decommissioned or whatever, or they're spare machines, but how cool is that? Okay. So push this button and then it shows how the body is put together with all these machines. So that's both sides of the body. Right? Okay, it's put together. And the roof skin. And then these machines tack it all together. How neat is that? This is really neat. So this is like this huge stamping machine, and this is what's able to make these things like these fenders. So it starts off just as a piece of metal like that, and then as it goes along you can see it becomes a little more and more refined as a usable fender. You could legitimately spend hours here just looking at every single exhibit, every single thing that moves and makes noises and all that. They have all this assembly line stuff. I'm not going to show you everything because I want you guys to actually come and experience it for yourself. It's definitely worth a full afternoon. They have a nice gift shop here. They have a nice cafe, and they just have a lot of stuff to see here. We haven't even gone to the textile side. That's a whole couple more hours just to check out. But the car side, so cool. Just incredibly cool. Just to see the process. I've never seen any of this stuff, and even going to one of the plants, I haven't seen any of the stamping side. I haven't seen the forging side. I haven't seen the casting side or any of that. All I've seen in person is the frame making and assembly. But hopefully in the future, I don't know, maybe I'll be able to see a lot of this other stuff. Alright, so I am getting some candy, FJ Cruiser toy, Toyota Century Tomica car, 2000 GT tie, because why not? I think it looks pretty cool. Let's see what Lewis is getting. Let's see. What do you have in your basket?
They have a cup noodle Tomica.
Wait a minute, what's wrong with you, bro? Look how many cars you have.
Just seems like a very normal amount.
Plus you're buying an R3?
Yes, of course.
wait, you want to talk about the most ridiculous thing that you have in in your basket? What makes this a 2000 GT chicken curry?
Well, it's $3, so that's
I don't get it. What does it make it? What?
It's $3, so.
You know, the funny thing is, we just heard this robot tuning.
Oh yeah, it's tuning its strings.
It's tuning its strings behind this little curtain thing.
I don't even know how to do that.
I don't
I don't even know how
know.
to play violin.
Yeah, so now it's about to start. What do you think?
Well, I'm not the one playing the violin, so it's a robot.
It's a robot. That's pretty interesting. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to support us directly, go to larrychenprints.com. I print and sign every single one of these. This is the perfect gift, or it's the perfect piece of art for your wall.